Okay, it looks like it started recording, so that's good. Oh, it's been recording for like 4 minutes. Oh no, we're trapped in the void of the swirly. Okay, we're free. Um, which door was this? Oh, it's Flower Guardians. Yeah, I'm gonna go make dinner. I'll be back. The fact that I was actually able to prepare my food in the time, that's really funny. But, okay, so, yeah, this seems about right for Flower Guardian. Spend 20 minutes comboing and then end on nothing. Well, to be fair, we did draw the droplet, so it bees like that, fam. It bees like that. And, you might look at his hand and be like, oh, but he's got such a big board. How are you going to win in this turn? We're going to win this turn. We're going to OTK. We're going to activate the mat. We're going to get the Maiden. We're going to activate the Terraform. Now, one quick note here. If this was E-Tully instead of the Psy Reflector, we would have picked up Sage instead, so we could pop off a little bit more, but we don't really need to do anything more. We're just going to go ahead and OTK here. Typical Maiden. Summon them all. So, blah, blah, blah. Target Maiden, Chain Maiden, Special Blue Eyes. Now we're doing all this first because if they have anything, we want to bait it out with the Maiden, and then we go into the Psy Reflector, and then we just kind of kill them with that. We're gonna go ahead and get the Assault Beast. We're gonna pitch the Assault Beast, get the Activate. We're gonna activate Psy Reflector, and we're gonna bring it back. We're gonna turn it into a 7 here because we are trying to OTK. We're going second. Gonna go ahead and make a copy of Draco Berserker of the Tenyi, and honestly, this is game right here. He's going to go up to 6,000. At this point, he sees the writing on the wall. He's gonna go ahead and scoop it up. We're gonna move on to the next game. Alrighty, and in this one just made me upset because when I started this event before I actually actually started playing in it. I've been playtesting the list, and when I went to build it in the actual thing, I realized that I couldn't use certain cards because they were banned. And it makes sense that they would ban like the pot cards like Extract Prosperity because they're trying to dissuade people from playing back row decks. They want people to actually like try and play synchro decks. Like Dark Highlander's banned as well. The D Barrier, the Forbidden Apocrypha, those cards are banned because they want you to actually try and synchro summon. To kind of explain, this is typically how this deck usually goes. We're gonna go into Chaos Ruler most of the time. We're going to try and hit the Maiden off of the effective Chaos Ruler. Usually what we're going to do, if we already had the Maiden here, we would make Stardust Dragon because we don't want to lose to like the blowout cards and stuff. But we're going to do this. We're going to hit our 5 mills. Unfortunately, we don't hit the Maiden. So we're just going to keep it simple. We're actually going to normal summon the Sage with Eyes of Blue. And then we're going to go ahead and pick up the Maiden for follow-up next turn. We're going to go ahead and make ourselves a Shen and hope that if they're playing something like Synchron, they can't really play through this. But we're playing against a set 5 burn deck because, they didn't actually hit the other stuff, They hit the consistency cards, but Upstart still at 3, Chicken Game still at 3, Card of Demise is still at 3. But, Prosperity is banned, so I can't play a consistent version of my synchro combo deck. But whatever, it's fine. We don't really care about the fact that they set 5. We're just gonna like play through everything. We're gonna kill them this turn. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna Mausoleum, target Maiden, Chain Maiden, special that Blue Eyes White Dragon. We're then going to synchro off the Shen because we don't want our stuff getting banished, but because we're gonna do some summoning from grave because we actually want to kill them this turn. Gonna synchro off the Shen. We're gonna make the Baron de Fleur. Then we're going to start chewing through some of this back row. Baron, target, pop, boom. Next up, we're going to pay 5. We're going to summon the Master with Eyes Blue. We're going to pick up the Maiden just in case we don't kill him. We want to have follow-up for next turn. We're going to go ahead and synchro off. We're going to make the Crocodragon. Crocodragon, we're going to draw a card. And then we're going to pitch 2. We're going to pop another back row. It ends up being like Magic Cylinder or something. We're going to Chaos Ruler, banish special. And look at that. We've got game on board just like that. We're going to go ahead and enter battle. We're going to swing. He's going to activate the effective float. We're going to say no. We're going to negate that with the Baron de Fleur. And then we're going to go ahead. We're going to swing. And hopefully we're not going to lose to Storming Mirror Force or anything like that. It's a ceasefire. We don't care about that. That's not nearly enough burn to kill us. We're going to go ahead and swing for game. That's the end of that. Konami, hit the burn cards, please. Oh, come on. How do you never... This button always doesn't want to cooperate. Anyway, next game. And here we are in another game. Once again, we are going to be going second because, it just be like that. Now, this is a pretty good hand going second. We've got Nib Gamma, and they're playing Synchron. So, now, originally when I saw this, I was like, what are they doing? Man, they're going fast. That they are a couple parallel universes ahead of me because I did not see the line. I was like, oh, how are you gonna make Speeder here? This is terrible, bad player, blah blah blah. Man, I was talking all the smack. This ended up being the hardest match I played today. Now I'm gonna give you about 5 seconds to see if you can figure out why it's the hardest match I played today. I'll give you a hint. It has something to do with my hand. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Did you guess? Because I don't have a starter? You would be correct. I do not have a starter. So yeah, it ends up getting pretty rough for me. I end up fighting for my life in this one. Now, he ends up getting to the Junk Speeder by using the level modulating effect of the Stardust Illumination. I think that's what the card is called. Yeah, using that level modulate, he gets to the Synchron. I'm like, okay, we're good. We're going to hold. We're going to wait until he summons a negate. As soon as he summons a negate, we're going to nib. He negates. We chain Gamma. Pop off, break the board, all that good stuff. So this was a mistake. He ends up... summoning the token so he doesn't have the room to summon off of the effective Arrive in Light. He draws, He basically. Oh wait a minute, I haven't fast forwarded this. But basically, he combos for like. I think it was like 10 minutes, like legit. He was comboing for a really long time. But we have Nib Gamma, so it doesn't really matter. He's gonna end on the token. It's funny because like he ends up doing something that makes it so he actually ends on something aside from the token. But it's kind of rough because due to the fact that like I don't have a starter, the Nib token ends up being like really scary for me because I'm like, oh wait a minute, I can't actually like do anything here. Let me put it like this: I should not have won this game. We plot armored our way into this one. Synchro Shokan, he's gonna make another Stardust Dragon. I'm just saying, like, man, this Nib Gamma is about to be amazing. He summons a Stardust Warrior, and then I'm like, okay, we're just gonna go ahead and nib this. Can you smell what the rock is cooking? But because of he summoned Stardust Warrior, it triggers, it floats. He gets to summon the Jet Warrior. He's gonna bounce it back to my hand. Now, this actually ends up being relevant because now I don't have a monster to actually use for my combo plays, and I'm like, oh no, this is a problem actually. We draw the Assault Beast. We're going to go ahead and pitch it, get the Assault Mode activate. We're just going to do some deck thinning. I'm going to bring back the Stardust Dragon. Hopefully we can mind game him. We're going to set the Assault Mode activate. Okay, so like we're trying to get him to think, do I play Stardust Dragon Assault Mode? We're going to do this. We're going to send the Blue Eyes White Dragon to the grave. Now, we're going to swing over. Now, I want to point something out here. Now, I didn't actually have a play. If I was playing Catastor, I would have been able to normal the Assault Beast, send the Flambeau Guard with the Mausoleum of White, and then make Catastor, and then kill the Nib token that way. And then, you know, we would have still had like the Nib Gamma in our hand, so we would have been safe and we wouldn't have had to set the Assault Mode activate. Setting the Assault Mode activate does end up coming up later on in the game, and it's why we can't like combo later on. Because you need this in hand to be able to use the effective Psy Reflector to like bring back a monster. So he normals this, and I kind of just have to let him go through. I'm like, please get greedy. Please get greedy. Please get greedy. He gets greedy. So I'm just like, okay, yeah, go ahead, pop off, King, pop off. And he wises up. He's just like, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and just put this into attack position. And then I kind of got to drop the rock there. But it sucks because this token is still really big. And then he passes. I realize I don't have anything. I switch it to defense. We're going to deck thin a little bit more. This doesn't do anything. He's just having the card active so he can use it on his turn. I'm just kind of chilling, hoping he doesn't have anything. I love that he drew. The only monster he had was something that couldn't hit over the token. So we take 400 to the dome. We end up drawing into the E-Telly, but because this is set, we can't actually combo off here. He normals this, triggering the Gamma we've been sitting on. And we're actually going to summon the pieces. We're going to put everything in defense. And we're just chilling. He goes into battle. He's going to kill my stuff. I'm going to end phase up E-Telly to summon the Psy Reflector. Thin the deck because we have to see either Sage, Maiden, or Map. And we see the Sage, we're able to get it, we're able to take the game back into our control. This was an absolute disaster, but we managed to swing things around, managed to take it in the end. We're going to go ahead and get ourselves a Blue Eyes White Dragon. We're going to go ahead and sync off. We're going to make ourselves a Shen here. Now, why a Shen? Why not a Croco Dragon? Because we're not going to win the game this turn. We want something that's going to be able to come back next turn. He's going to be able to keep drawing. And honestly, this card is kind of good because he just keeps drawing every turn. It's like, that's what's keeping him in the game. We finally out the Nib token. We attack over his monster. We're back into control of the game. We have the Baron de Fleur plus Called By to stop anything he may do. Doesn't matter what we draw. We're going to bring back the Shen. We're going to Baron pop his monster. We're going to attack for game. We're going to win the game. And I just have to say, oh my gosh, this was really stressful. Why? Because we didn't draw a starter and we were going to die to our own Nib token. But anyway, that's going to be it. Well, now we're going to go ahead and showcase the deck profile itself. If the button will let me. Alrighty, so this is the deck. Yeah, I was originally building like a kind of like tangy synchro variant, but it's like that version was a lot more explosive, but it just wasn't nearly as consistent as this version was. There are some changes I've made to the deck from the replays. One of the changes, I took out Herald of the Arclight. Originally, I was playing that because sometimes you have the Planet Pathfinder plus like a level 1. And I'm just not realizing I actually couldn't do that because this is a 4 out of 3. Keck does. Well, it's a good thing that situation never came up. I wouldn't have been able to summon this. What level is Max C, actually? I think it's a 2. But one of the things that I actually want to do, because it actually would have come up in that game where I was like stuck behind the nib token, Catastor. Ally of Justice, Catastor. So this would have come up. I would have been able to normal summon the Assault Beast, or I can also do this with Pathfinder. Mausoleum, send the Flambeau Guard, bring back the Flambeau Guard, and special summon Catastor, and that would have outed the nib token that way. But I'm probably going to make that change now, actually. Do I have enough to, like, craft it? I do. Yeah, I'm going to do that now, actually. Or am I? How often am I doing that, though? Well, I mean, Anyway, we're going to go through the card by card real quick. So, engine requirements. Flambeau Guard, 1 driver, 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons, Assault Beast, and Assault Mode Activate. We're playing, the Mausoleum Synchro Blue Eyes deck. I'm playing 2 copies of Maiden, 3 copies of Sage, 1 Master, triple Psi Reflector, triple Maxi, the Psi Frame package of 2 Gamma, 2 copies of Planet Pathfinder. We really want to see the field spell. If we don't see the field spell, our synchro engine is a lot worse, but once we have this online, we're synchro summoning almost every single turn, and that's one of the things I like about this variant. 2 copies of Nibiru. It's, the Synchro Festival where everyone's summoning more than 5 times unless they're playing a set 5 deck, but hopefully we don't run into too many of those. Playing Reborn because it's a combo deck. Terraforming, we really want to see the field spell. 2 copies of the map. I wanna play 3 copies of this, but I found that I've been able to see Maiden pretty consistently. Hasn't been that much of a problem. I'm not playing 1-for-1 because I don't have 1-for-1. I would be playing it. Mausoleum of White, this is your field spell. This is what enables you to do all your synchro plays, allow you to do your synchro plays every single turn, gives you that extra normal summon, which is what enables you to make your ceiling as high as it is. Emergency Teleport, we are usually summoning Psi Reflector off this. Occasionally we summon the Gamma to make Baron de Fleur. But 9 times out of 10 we're summoning Psi Reflector. 2 copies of Chalice in the main because we want to be able to not lose the game going second. We want stuff that, a little bit of that versatility. 1 copy of Silver's Cry. This brings back Blue Eyes. This brings back Flambeau Guard. 2 copies of Called by the Grave. We're not trying to lose a Maxi. We do have that benefit of Gamma doing that as well. Sometimes you go E-Tully, they chain Maxi, and you can Gamma, and then you just hard win the game. 2 copies of Droplet because, some of these boards are pretty ridiculous. And then the 1 of Assault Mode Activate. I wasn't playing the 1 Veiler in the replays because I actually pulled it with the 10 pull that I got from my rewards. I ended up pulling like 2 Junk Speeder and this. So I dismantled the 2 copies of Junk Speeder to get the Veiler, and then I just threw this in my extra deck. I took out the Herald of the Arclight. But yeah, onto the extra deck. We're playing 1 Black Rose Moonlight, 1 Clearwing Synchro Dragon. It's just like a negate. It's something. 1 copy of Wind Pegasus Adagnister. This helps us play through back row. And then we also have, the effect it has in the grave. I'm unironically playing Stardust Dragon. I'm not going to lie. Board wipes are kind of everywhere. If I'm in a position where I already have the combo, instead of making Chaos Ruler, I make Stardust. 1 copy of Draco Berserker of the Tenyi. This is how I get my OTKs. It's also just an interruption going second. Chaos Ruler, the best synchro monster in the game. Oh my gosh. It's just so strong. We add hand traps off this. We add our combo pieces. We add extension. It summons itself back from the grave. It's such a good card. The 1 copy of Azurai Silver Dragon. We don't usually make this very often. If we get into the grind game, we might make it sometimes, but usually we're not making this. 2 copies of Blue Eye Spirit Dragon. I've summoned the 2nd Spirit Dragon a lot. I was honestly surprised. The 1 copy of Ravenous Croco Dragon. This card's really good. It's quick effect pop. 1 copy of Shen Shen. If we're in a position where we're really going through it, sometimes you can just summon Shenshin and they can't play through Shenshin. And then, because it comes back from the grave, it has that good, like it's really good in the grind game as well. One copy of Ascension Sky Dragon. I'm going to be real, this is just another Synchro 10. Sometimes it comes up, but usually we're not summoning this. 2 copies of Baron de Fleur. I have never summoned the second Baron de Fleur, but it just feels so weird to not play the second copy if I have it. And then 1 copy of Star Eater. I just needed an 11 Synchro, I'm going to be real. Sometimes I need an 11. But yeah, I probably cut the second Baron, but I guarantee you as soon as I cut the second Baron, it's going to come up. But Ascension Sky Dragon as well, this comes up sometimes, because sometimes you do tag out into this. I don't know. Probably cut the second Baron for Catastor. I just feel like I don't want to be in that position where I'm staring at a nib again. Oh, I got a pack. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty much the deck I've been playing. It's, pretty consistent. I like the consistency of it. I haven't been in a situation. Actually, I have bricked a couple of times, but I still won those games because, like, even when you brick, you usually still have, like, some combo line you can go through. Obviously, the dream is when you go E-Telly, right, with Maiden in hand, so you make Stardust, and then you make, like, your Synchros, and then you have, like, the big board or whatever, and you don't lose to the blowout cards, but, it'd be like that sometimes. But one of the things about this deck is that the ceiling of this deck isn't, like, super high, but the thing I like about this deck is that you're going to be Synchro summoning pretty much every single turn, and it has, like, a really good grind game. You're going to be Synchro summoning every single turn because of the interaction with, like, Maiden and Mausoleum. Even if you, like, use the Maiden, you can, like, get it back with Master, you can search another one with Sage, and then because you have that extra normal summon, it's like you're usually able to go into another Synchro play. Between, like, the Barons and everything. I feel like I just know it's going to come up. But it's just, like, everything else about the extra deck I've liked so much. It's just, like, I've summoned the second Spirit Dragon so many times. I probably should cut this. Should probably cut this. Yeah, I'm going to cut that, and I'm going to put the second Baron back in. I've never summoned the second Baron. I've summoned the Ascension Sky Dragon for an OTK. Because it gains, like, based on how many cards you hand. I think I summoned it with, like, 6 in hand, and then I made the Draco Berserk, and I just, like, killed them. Oh, man. I know it's going to come up. I know it's going to come up. But you can't have everything in your extra deck. Let's see if we pull anything out of this. Out of this free pull. Wow, there's nothing in here. Is there anything in here that I would want? Anything? There's literally nothing in this pack that I want. But let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Free pull. Come on. Give me a rekindling. Nothing. Let's see what we got. What have we got? Are we broke? Nope, we're not. Yeah, this was that was pretty bad. Anyway, that's gonna be it for my Synchro Festival deck list that I've been playing. It's been pretty fun. I'm so sad that Prosperity's, like, banned, dog. I'm so sad. I want to play Prosperity. But yeah, one last look. There's a couple of different things you can play with it, but this is what I've been doing. But yeah, this has been Darkslayer Arim from Haltesia Gaming. Thank you very much for watching, and have a wonderful day.